Everybody talks about Nvidia and AI and buy AMD, AVGO. But here's what most people don't understand. AI is really just the brain. It needs infrastructure in order to survive. It needs wiring, it needs cooling, it needs so many other things. Think about the body, it needs the brain, but how much else does it need? So in this video, I'm gonna show you the biggest bottlenecks in the AI system, what's quietly slowing everything down. And while the obvious plays are, they aren't really the full story, and two companies that I think are sitting right in the middle that we need to be on. So instead of chasing the hype, you understand what actually makes the AI work. Before we get into this video, man, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I appreciate every one of y'all coming here to help this video. Help me get to 2,000 likes so we can really get back in this algorithm like we need to be. So let's get to it. Right now, trillions of dollars are pouring into AI. We understand that data centers are being built everywhere. They're the size of many cities. And companies are racing to scale. We see Amazon, we see Google, we see Microsoft. There's a problem that nobody is really talking about, but a lot of people are feeling it. Well, what happens when AI demand grows faster than a system that supports it? Let's say that again. What happens when the AI demand grows faster than a system that supports it? Well, it doesn't just slow things down, it creates what's called a bottleneck. And a bottleneck is when something is constrained and it can't go past it. Think about a bottle, it's big at the base and then it gets really tight right up. Well, those bottlenecks create opportunities because somebody has to create something to free that bottleneck up, to open it up so they can go through. Well, that's the companies I want to talk to you about today. But before I get into it, I want to dig a little deeper so you can understand. And my goal is to paint the picture because I don't want you just chasing Nvidia, AMD, and AVGO. There's a lot more companies that are really blowing up. Most investors think that AI just equals chips, and that's it. They think Nvidia builds the brain and AMD supports it and in the story, and then they think about AVGO as the brother or sister. But you're wrong. When you get on social media, that's all people talk about. When you see on the TV, that's all that people talk about. But my goal is to help us dig back and peel layers. So that's like saying a city only needs buildings, but ignoring the roads, ignoring the electricity, ignoring the plumbing, ignoring the water, the things that help the city flow. So AI is not a product. AI is actually an entire ecosystem. And every system needs a few things. First, it needs movement, it needs energy, and it needs infrastructure. And if any one of those breaks along the journey, then the whole system slows down. Now, again, we understand that a lot of things are happening right now in AI, and a lot of people are crowding into the same companies. Now, here's where I want to dig a little deep. I want to pull back some layers on this. Right now, two of those areas are under a lot of pressure, right? We talked about moving, we talked about energy, and we talked about infrastructure. Well, let me talk about the first bottleneck that I see for a fact is the winner. The company is COHR. Now, I talked about this company in 2025, but for some reason, people don't like it until they run up. But think about this. There's huge upside. In my mind, I think this is the movement layer. And this is like investing in Amazon a year after the IPO. So, Coherent Corp, just think about it builds the highway that the AI has to run on. But I'm gonna simplify it a little bit more. So AI runs on data, but data doesn't just sit still. Data has to move constantly. It's always moving. So when you on ChatGPT, or when you on Perplexity, or when you on Anthropic, Claude, they're servers. So that data is always moving in and out between servers, between data centers, and all across the world. Well, the simple way to say it is this. COHR doesn't just have exposure to AI data centers. Data centers are their business right now, but their data center segment grew 43% last year. And every major AI build-out, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, has the COHR technology inside to speed it up so it can give it the speed that it needs. Because who wants slow AI? You want AI that moves. Well, that's the most people don't realize. AI is not limited by thinking power. It's actually limited by how fast the data can move. The faster the data, the more it can compute. The more it can compute, guess what? The more it needs to be cooled, the more energy it needs, but you know how people are. Humans want faster, faster, faster. So COHR builds this optical transceivers. So laser systems and photonic components. So just basically, these are the tools that move the data at light speed. Now, their business breaks down into two segments. The data center, and the communication segment is where the AI story lives. And most recently, they reported 30% growth in revenue, $2.3 billion in 6 months of last year, driven by AI data center demand. They increased the whole 2025 annual up and hit revenue of $5.8 billion. Now, that's a 39% surge year over year. And revenue increased by $1.4 billion. That's a 43% jump. That data demand is really, really, really growing. Now think about this. The hyperscalers, the Amazons, the Microsofts, the Googles, they're all scaling really, really, really aggressive. And every new building increases demand for what? Optical networking, which brings us back to COHR, which will be pivotal. Think about this. How can you do a road trip if you never get on a highway? Now you got to take back roads the whole way. That's a really long trip. Well, COHR has a backlog of multi-quarter demand. Customers are hyperscalers, telecom, and industrial. And so that positions them as a critical AI supplier of, watch this word, AI data flow. Now, you can have the most powerful AI model in the world, but if the data can't move fast enough, it becomes useless. And so everybody sees the brain, but nobody sees the bloodstream. We talked about COHR. Now, I want to zoom out a little bit more. Now, just walk with me right here, because this is going to be important. And make sure you like and subscribe and send this out. But also, along the way, come join my Patreon, because we actually are up. I made a video about this company, COHR and BE. I mapped that out maybe like 2 weeks ago and showed y'all how we got into these plays. Right now, these plays are still up 100 and some percent, and we still riding them out. I'm up about 56% in the COH or the BE play, and about 40 something thousand in the COHR play, 100 and some percent on both. I mean, that's pretty cool. Let's think. Movement is only one side of the problem. Ask yourself this question. What does AI actually need to survive? I know it's kind of weird to think about it. What does AI need to survive? It's almost like an oxymoron, Trap, but it's not. It needs power. That's right. No AI can survive without power. This is why one of the things that you see President Trump talking about doing is making these mega hyperscalers pay for their own energy, because everybody's light bill, phone bill, electric bill, everything is going up. And this is where the real bottleneck starts at. The energy is where the real bottleneck starts. So I want to talk about this second company. I talked about this one in 2025, but I'll bring it back up. Bloom Energy. Right? Now, let me explain this one really, really simple. AI consumes massive amounts of energy. I'm talking massive amounts of energy, right? And that energy affects the everyday person. But not only that, it affects these companies, because now you need energy, you need energy, you need energy, you need energy. And the grid right now can't support that energy at scale. So one single AI data center can use as much electricity as a small city. Now, think of a data center like a machine with layers. There's applications, that's the AI models. There's the compute, that's the GPUs like Nvidia. There's networking, that's opticals like COHR. And then there's power. This is where Bloom comes in at. No power equals no AI, no compute, no revenue. And here's the problem. Again, the grid that we have is not set up for that kind of movement, because utilities move slow. Permits take years in infrastructure. It takes a lot of time. And so now you need somebody that can come in and say, hey, I'm going direct to the source, right? The AI demand is happening right now. Not 3, not 5, not 7 years from now. It's actually happening right now. So these companies cannot wait. And this is where Bloom Energy, ticker symbol BE, comes at and solves the bottleneck. Bloom solves with on-site power, clean energy pressure. So big tech companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, they have carbon reduction goals. They have a need to have alternatives to diesel generators because that's not good, right? And but Bloom runs on natural gas, hydrogen, lower emissions versus diesel. This gives them the advantage. Now, here's how it actually integrates. And I want to go through this so you can really see how this play is supposed to go. So here's the real play. Fuel is natural gas and hydrogen. It goes into the Bloom system. And then Bloom generates electricity on site. Power flows into the data center, that distribution through the center, server racks, AI workloads run uninterrupted. So it's basically a private power plant for AI. So now, next to these huge data centers, there's these things that's gonna be set up by Bloom Energy, which is a little power plant, and it's all strictly for that data center. Now, why does this matter for the AI boom? Well, the real constraint in AI right now is not chips. They making chips. It's power and infrastructure. So when you stack these together, it becomes chips, that's Nvidia. They need compute, optics, COHR, data movement, Bloom was power supply. Miss one layer and the whole system breaks. And we haven't even tapped into the idea of cooling just yet. Let's look at this from the investor's lens so we can really tap into this a little bit deep because there's some more data here that we gotta pay attention to, right? So Bloom role is tied to data center expansion cycles, CapEx spending for hyperscalers, and energy demand growth. So will AI demand force companies to build faster than the grid can support? Of course. They build what's called solid oxide fuel cells, modular power systems, and on-demand electricity for generation. Now, that helps have them as the core company that's needed. So instead of waiting for years, companies can deploy power immediately, which is why we see Bloom Energy's revenues increasing, which is why we see them having multi-year backlog, which is why we see them, the stock performing the way it is. And then Oracle partnership. So they just did a deal with Oracle, growing the backlog tied to data and command. Now this positioned as a bridge between energy and AI expansion. Because you know one thing, when Oracle gets in, you understand this is not just coincidental. This is a sign because Oracle is looked at as a staple in this data center play. So this isn't just energy, this is time compression. And Bloom doesn't just provide power. They remove the delay. And that is more critical than anything else because speed, grid connection, that can take anywhere between 3 to 8 years. And who has time for that? Because everybody wants to be number one. So Bloom, it can install that way faster than having to build out or wait on the grid. And so this is why companies like COHR and BE are perfect. So in AI, waiting 5 years for power means losing the race. And nobody wants to lose the race when they're putting billions and billions of dollars on the line right now. Now, just stay with me right quick as we dig in one more layer that I know you didn't pay attention to. AI systems cannot go down, not even briefly. We saw ChatGPT go down the other day and it caused havoc. Downtime equals lost data, which equals lost revenue, which equals system instability. Not only does that crash the system, but it also crashes the stock, y'all. And the reason I'm walking you through this slowly is because I want you to understand how amazing of an opportunity that we have. AI doesn't tolerate outages. It just doesn't. It's consistent, it's stable energy supply, and that's what they need. So Bloom Energy is going to continuously grow, and they're going to continuously put themselves in position to be the big dog for this. Now, the last but not least, I can actually see this company being a $500 stock by 2027, mid-2027. I can see it because Bloom Energy added modules, scaled alongside data centers, and this positions them to be a dominant company. So I won't leave you with this before we go a little further. Watch this. They don't just provide power, they grow with the demand. Because as these companies grow, they go right to BE and ask them to be the provider of the power. They become dependent on BE because tech doesn't want to rely on slow utilities, unstable grids, and regulatory demands. So man, if this video helps you out, man, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and share this out. Then you can come join our Patreon because we are actually positioning ourselves to buy positions and long positions in companies like this, because Bloom gives the control back to the builder, just like COHR gives the data a place to run. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. Salute.